Dear Pastor Bob, I'm always thinking about what might go wrong. If a friend asks me to go to a concert, I think you're going to have a hard time finding a parking space. Or you might just get in a wreck. I always think of what might go wrong. Many times these negative thoughts paralyze me. They prevent me from doing stuff. I know God speaks to people to warn them about certain situations, but I struggle with trying to decide, is this just my anxiety, or is it God trying to warn me? You know, a lot of people struggle with anxiety, and a lot of people are paralyzed by it. And I don't think it's from God at all. You know, when God warns us, there's a peace. There's a peace in the middle of the warning, but it doesn't happen that often. And usually when we're thinking about the what ifs, it's a paralyzing thing. And I think it's one of those things that keeps us from getting involved in life, in ministry, in love, in relationships, in all of those things, because it paralyzes us from moving forward. You know, many years ago, I had my first brush with death. I've had a couple of them, but my first one where I didn't know if I was going to live or die. And it was a very defining time for me because, well, honestly, I'd never really thought about it to this degree. I'd never considered that today may be my last. It's a big deal. And I made friends with it. I realized that where I have to go from here is glorious. And I realized that my relationship with God is strong and He will carry me as He always has. You know, yesterday I celebrated my 60th Christian birthday. 60 years ago, I asked Jesus to come into my heart. And man, He's been carrying me ever since. Forgiving me, moving me forward, and helping me fight through these kinds of things. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. And I think it's important that we understand that this is more anxiety than anything else. And when we have anxiety, we need to put it at the cross. Yeah, lay it at the feet of Jesus. You know, Jesus died for all of this. For my sin, for my guilt, well, for my anxiety. Cast all of your cares upon Him because He cares for you. What does that mean? Well, He's in this business. He cares for you. He's in charge of those things. And what's the worst that can happen? Well, quite honestly, the worst that can happen is that we die and go to heaven. And I have peace about that. I hope you do too. You see, it's about living a good life and having a good death. And I don't mean that in a morbid way. I just mean it's good because we know where we're going. It's a transition to something better. So, what do you do with anxiety, though? Well, a lot of it is really self-talk. You can talk yourself into more anxiety, or you can tell yourself the truth. You can tell yourself that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. You can tell yourself that no obstacle is in my way that Christ can't conquer. Yeah. So many Bible verses that are flooding my head, and I won't go through all of them. But you might memorize a few of them and speak them when you feel the anxiety. Because you see, truth is always the thing that cuts through that anxiety and begins the process of putting you, well, in an avenue of truth. That's important. Christ said, I didn't give you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, sound mind. That's what He gave you. And when you are fearful, when you have anxiety, He said, that isn't my spirit. It's not what I gave you. And so it's a matter of shifting and saying, what did He give me? What is my foundation? And that's where I'm going to stand. God bless you. Have a great day.